use them on a fucking couch.
And even back then when you were bedridden.
Alright guys, welcome to another Amberlynn Reid video. This one's called There's Something I Have to Tell You, wait in episode 10. So once again, we're back to 5-minute vlogs. Immediately dislike. Let's see. Her Amberlynn Diction link is still here. TikTok, Instagram, Cameo, and her pity stream link is still here. She's selling merch. Let's see. Take a swimming or to a pool class, to an art class, to volunteer with you at an animal shelter or homeless shelter, or to the food bank. The makeup class, I would love if you change it up a bit and did something different once a month. Mama doesn't say anything because she let you down in the past and is not enabling you. I find it highly unlikely that none of your past doctors have checked your thyroid levels. Same story, different day. Free range underlining LMAO. 1,200 calories a day, down 26 pounds, 15 pounds to go. Thanks for the motivation. That's gonna be me soon. Alright, so let's just get into it. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and sub. And check out my eBay link in the description. A couple things that I'm selling, as they say. And enjoy the show. So immediately at the 0-0 mark, we're greeted with this monstrosity. Wearing a tablecloth and a dress over a shirt, and her hair looks disgusting. She can never use hairspray to keep it down.
Hello, welcome to another weekly weigh-in. So let's get into the 5 questions. What kind of coping skills are you using during times where you want to overeat? So there's a few that I use, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. It's all about practice. So sometimes I set an alarm for about 10 minutes and I kind of just like sit with the feeling, and sometimes it passes. I journal about how I'm feeling to figure out like, why do I want to overeat? Because usually there's like an underlining reason. It's not just like, oh, I love to eat. For me, there's definitely something underlining. And sometimes journaling about that.
Is she okay in that? Is she supposed to say underlying, not underlining? She swears that she reads. She swears that she writes.
Distracts me, and it helps me be like, wow, I actually don't think I need food. I distract myself with things that make me happy, like my fur babies. I watch something on YouTube. I watch a TV show. I do my Legos, things like that. Sometimes I will literally remove myself from wherever I'm at. I also do this when I get extremely anxious, and sometimes that also helps then too. So for an example, say I'm just sitting in my living room and all of a sudden I just have this overwhelming urge to order DoorDash. Sometimes I'll literally just like stand up and remove myself. I'll like go in the kitchen, clean.
So sitting down in your living room makes you order quote unquote DoorDash. You know you could order a salad off DoorDash, right?
A couple dishes, or I'll just be like, hey Twinkie, do you want to go outside? Or I'll go into my room. Like I'll literally just remove myself. These things are definitely easier said than done. You just have to be kind to yourself and patient, and it's like that muscle. The more you do it, the better you get at it. Why do you watch healthy eating content? So it's not something that I like search out, but if it pops up and I happen to see it and I don't skip through it, it's usually because it's motivating me to be healthier. Like I love a good meal idea. I need inspiration in that area. Does Mama Lynn ever discourage you from making bad food choices? No, because I think she also understands. She does sometimes try to encourage me to like cook more instead of ordering takeout as much. Why didn't you know you had hyperthyroidism in the past? So usually your doctor decides what labs they want done based on the things that you guys talk about. That appointment was very I
find that very hard to believe, because the number one indicator of a bad thyroid is usually heavy people, but we all know that's not the truth. But usually there's a pattern that people need to follow, and that's one of those patterns. And we know that people could have hypothyroidism and still be skinny, because I know, I've seen them, I met them.
focused on weight loss because I was talking to him about Zepbound, and I was telling him about how difficult it was for me to lose weight. Like he knows about my lipedema, my lymphedema, my menopause, hysterectomy, etc., etc. He knows about all that, but he was like, when's the last time you've had your thyroid checked? And I was like, when I was 15, because that is the last time. And when I had it checked when I was 15, like it was fine. And he was like, oh, We should probably check that. So that's the only reason why we checked it. And turns out, yep, hypothyroidism. Why do you look at yourself when you're eating on camera? So I think it's just a natural habit that us YouTubers have. I don't like watching myself eat. It's nothing weird like that. It's kind of just like, where should our eyes go? So let's talk about the goals that I had last week. It was to keep a food journal and to take my medication. And I did both of those things. I noticed that keeping a food journal, I do eat a little bit more than like my body feels, because I'm telling you at night, I'm like, oh my God, why am I so hungry? Blah, blah, blah. I was able to look at my journal and be like,
To get a real job, and then somehow all your sleeping problems that you say you stay up late, this shit about you being hungry randomly. Like if you're at work, you're busy. You're too busy to think about food. You're too busy for whatever. Swear to God.
well, you kind of ate a decent amount, so why are you hungry, Amberlynn? But if it wasn't for me having the journal, I wouldn't have had that answer. In my brain, I would have been like, maybe I didn't eat much today. Let's have something else. So it was nice to have that awareness throughout the week. And then taking my meds on time and when I'm supposed to.
So is she gonna conveniently forget to write things down? Like, oh, I didn't write anything down from the food journal that day, so I didn't know if I ate a lot or whatever. So I ended up ordering DoorDash at night because that's why I'm hungry. Like, no, idiot. You're fucking 500 pounds. That's why you're fucking hungry at night.
To, it's been really easy because I got a pill organizer. So my goals for this week is 1, keep up with the medicine, and 2, start using my Owala water bottle. So I finally drank the rest of my actual like plastic water bottles that you buy at the store, and I bought a reusable water bottle that I can use. And so I've been drinking 2 water bottles a day, sometimes 3, but usually 2. And that's about 30 ounces of water. But my Owala is 40 ounces. So my goal is literally just to drink 1 of those a day and then eventually move on to 2. Now I'm going to talk about how my week went. So some days were better than others because the beginning of this week, I was having a lot of mental health.
That's the weirdest logic when it comes to stuff like that. Like, she's so wasteful. Like, does she refill it or does she have 2 bottles? You know what I mean? Like, she could refill it, not keep 2 bottles of 40 ounces. I don't know, guys. I think that's what she's gonna do.
I've been having a lot of mental health days that have been really low, and I have been like catching myself not really caring about the food that I'm putting in my mouth. Yes, I am trying harder. Yes, I'm also adding healthier foods to my diet, but there are some days where I definitely emotionally ate. So if I am being quite frank with you guys, I'm noticing that I'm not being as transparent or as vulnerable or as open as I would like to be in my weigh-in videos or my what I ate today videos. There are things that I want to say, there are things that I want to talk about, but I'm not. I have the biggest wall up, like literally. It is made of the toughest brick you've ever been able to like get your hands on. It is made of metal. It is 1,000,000 feet high and 1,000,000 feet wide. Like, you can't get past it. And I genuinely think it's because of all the backlash that I receive. My issues with my weight, my struggles with food, my issues with my mental health, and my struggles with how that reflects in my food, whether it be due to trauma or just issues that I have in general, it is not perceived in the way that it should be. People are too harsh, too mean, too cruel, and it's pushing me away without a doubt. So I am.
So she's basically getting triggered that she gets called out on her bullshit, and she can't lie to the camera like how she lies to herself. Like, we see how everything is. You're psycho. You need to be committed for your weight loss. You're obviously not responsible for your own health. You're a danger to your own health.
Thinking about stopping the weigh-in videos, and I'm thinking about stopping the what I ate today videos. It's something that I truly have to think about and decide, because I need to protect the little bit of sanity that I do have. I'm just not met with kindness in an area of my life that is not impacting anyone.
Yeah. You are getting tough love, like you said, that you only work when people are kind to you to do your best. And tough love doesn't work for you, like you said. So, guess what? Welcome to the internet. They're gonna tell you the straight up truth. And why is her eye like wonky? What the fuck? But still, people know your shit. You can't lie to the camera like how you lie to yourself. It's just like a third person / narrator, like people like you like to say they narrate something about your life, but we only judge what we see. And if you're the one that's not letting things be quote unquote perceived the way that you want it to be, And maybe your reality is a little bit skewed of what you perceive on day-to-day basis. So check yourself, please.
Besides myself, I can't imagine ever being mean to someone or cruel to someone or saying harsh things to someone that is just simply struggling and documenting that online. Regardless, let's get into the actual weigh-in. So last week I was 516.0 and this week I'm 513.8, so I'm down 2.2 pounds. I'm not mad about it because I did have a little bit of a fluctuation last week. This might be a fluctuation this week. Who knows? Anyways, I'm gonna go. Hope that you guys enjoyed this video and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.
What she calls her binging and the scale reflecting that a fluctuation. Honestly, just off into the deep end. There's no saving her at this point. She needs to be committed. She's not responsible for her health. I'm afraid for the cat, and I'm afraid for Twinkie, because she's already down a pet thanks to her neglect. And that kind of right. Anyway, guys, check out my eBay store. I have a link in the description, a couple things that I'm failing, and like, comment, and sub for more stuff like this.